Hello, friends. Have you ever heard the saying, surround yourself only with people who uplift you and bring out the best version of yourself? This profound advice from the renowned Stoic philosopher Epictetus prompts us to reflect. Who are the people we choose to journey through life with? Do they help us grow, or are they silently holding us back? Today, let's explore 7 types of people Stoicism warns us to steer clear of, not out of hatred, but to safeguard our mental well-being and nurture our personal growth. Ask yourself, are any of these individuals present in your life right now? Let's dive in and find out. 1. The chronic complainer. We all know that one person, a friend, colleague, or family member, who always seems to find fault in everything. Whether it's the weather, their job, or the food at a highly rated restaurant, their complaints never seem to end. At first, you might brush it off, thinking it's harmless. But have you noticed how prolonged exposure to such negativity feels like a slow-dripping faucet, gradually draining your emotional energy? Imagine you're working on a project with someone who constantly complains. Every meeting turns into a session of grumbling about deadlines, workload, or the lack of resources. Instead of brainstorming creative solutions, the entire team becomes bogged down by negativity. The atmosphere grows heavy, your enthusiasm dwindles, and progress halts. Before long, you're not just drained, but also questioning why you even started the project in the first place. So, how can you protect yourself? One powerful strategy is to limit your time with complainers whenever possible. If that's not an option, say they're a colleague or a close family member, you can try practicing mindful detachment. Picture their complaints as passing rain showers. Loud, disruptive, but ultimately fleeting. By mentally distancing yourself, you can stay grounded and avoid absorbing their negativity. Another approach is to gently redirect the conversation. For instance, if they start venting about their job, steer the dialogue toward solutions or shift to a more positive topic. This not only helps lighten the mood, but also reinforces your boundary of not engaging in endless pessimism. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, you have power over your mind, not external events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Let this reminder guide you. Guard your mental peace fiercely, and don't let chronic complainers derail your inner tranquility or distract you from the path of growth you've chosen for yourself. 2. The drama magnet. Have you ever met someone whose life feels like a never-ending soap opera? One day, they're feuding with a colleague. The next, it's a fallout with their best friend. And before long, you find yourself entangled in their turmoil. These individuals are like whirlpools, fascinating at first but dangerously exhausting if you drift too close. Initially, their intensity might seem captivating, even exciting. Their stories are vivid, full of twists and turns, and their passion can be contagious. But as time goes on, you'll notice the toll it takes. You're emotionally drained, constantly putting out fires that aren't yours. And even worse, you might find yourself inadvertently drawn into conflicts you had no part in. What's the solution? The first step is recognizing that you're not obligated to participate in their chaos. Distance is your best ally. If you can, keep a polite but firm boundary between yourself and their drama. If avoiding them isn't an option, practice reflective listening. Acknowledge their emotions without getting personally involved. For example, if they say, "I can't believe Sarah betrayed me," you could respond with, "It sounds like you're really hurt by Sarah's actions." This way, you provide support without becoming a part of the conflict. Another effective tactic is to be selectively unavailable. Turn off your phone during focused work hours or carve out times where you're simply unavailable to engage in their crises. Protecting your peace means being deliberate about who you give your time and attention to. As Seneca wisely said, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future. Let this serve as a reminder. By steering clear of the whirlpool of drama, you can sail through life with greater clarity and tranquility, focusing on your own goals rather than getting swept up in someone else's storm. 3. The Naysayer. Have you ever shared an exciting dream or ambitious plan, only to be met with a barrage of skepticism? That won't work, they say. The market is too competitive, or what if you fail? These are the naysayers, People who seem determined to smother your spark before it has a chance to ignite. This isn't constructive feedback, which is rooted in care and aimed at growth. No, naysayers specialize in undermining confidence, often projecting their own fears onto you. Imagine you're painting a vibrant masterpiece, and they walk in with a bucket of dull gray paint, ready to cover your canvas with their doubts. So, how do you deal with them? Start by reframing their negativity. Instead of passively absorbing their criticism, turn the conversation around by asking for solutions. For example, if they dismiss your plan with, "You don't have the experience," respond with, "That's a fair point. Where do you think I should start to build the skills I need?" This shifts their role from a critic to a problem solver and forces them to engage more constructively. Another effective strategy is to focus on your why. When your purpose is clear, external doubts lose their power. Remind yourself why this goal matters to you, and use that clarity as a shield against their negativity. Surrounding yourself with supportive voices, those who encourage and uplift, can also help drown out the naysayer's noise. As Epictetus reminds us, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak. While it's important to listen, it's equally vital to discern valuable input from mere noise. Don't let naysayers dull your vision. Instead, filter their words, extract what's useful, and keep painting your masterpiece in bold, vibrant strokes. 4. The victim. Do you know someone who constantly blames external forces for their struggles? They seem stuck in a never-ending loop of excuses, trapped in a narrative where everything is someone else's fault. I can't get ahead at work because my boss doesn't like me, or I can't get fit because I have bad genetics. Their life is a series of roadblocks they can't seem to overcome, and they expect others to pick up the pieces for them. While it's true that everyone faces challenges, the victim mindset refuses to take responsibility for their own actions. This can quickly become exhausting, as they drain your emotional energy and pull you into their cycle of helplessness. You might find yourself offering advice or support, but it never seems to make a difference. They continue to blame others for their misfortune, never taking the reins of their own life. The key to dealing with a victim is setting firm boundaries. You can be compassionate, but you don't have to become their perpetual savior. Show empathy, listen to their grievances, but resist the urge to solve their problems for them. This doesn't mean you don't care, but rather that you recognize they need to take ownership of their journey. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice. Instead of mirroring their helplessness, choose to be proactive. Encourage them to see their circumstances through a different lens, one where they can take responsibility and make choices that move them forward. Ask them, what actions can you take to change this situation? By refusing to get caught in their victim narrative, you protect your own peace and mental well-being. Recognize that, just like everyone else, they have the power to change their life, but only if they stop blaming the world and start taking ownership of their choices. You don't need to carry their burden. Instead, help them realize they have the strength to carry their own. 5. The Toxic Positivist. Have you ever encountered someone who always seems to have a one-size-fits-all solution to every problem? They tell you, just cheer up or everything will be fine, regardless of the circumstances. At first, their optimism might seem reassuring, but soon you realize it's not offering true support. Instead, it feels like they're brushing aside your genuine struggles and invalidating your emotions. While optimism can be helpful in the right context, toxic positivity can actually be harmful. It diminishes the reality of your feelings and makes it hard to express vulnerability. When you're going through something difficult, being told to stay positive might leave you feeling like your emotions don't matter, and that you're expected to mask your pain with a forced smile. The result? You feel more alone in your struggles and less understood by those around you. Dealing with a toxic positivist requires a gentle but firm approach. When they offer their generic encouragement, acknowledge their intent, but let them know that you need space to process your feelings. A simple response like, "I appreciate your optimism, but I need some time to work through this. I'll get there, but I need to feel what I'm feeling first," can help set the tone for a more balanced conversation. By responding this way, you not only protect your own emotional well-being, but also steer the interaction toward greater empathy. The key is recognizing that being real with your emotions is just as important as seeking positive solutions. As you navigate through challenges, it's okay to give yourself permission to experience hardship without feeling pressured to always look on the bright side. Remember, true support comes from people who allow you to express your feelings, rather than pushing you to pretend everything is fine. And sometimes, simply being heard is the most powerful way to heal. 6. The manipulator. Have you ever met someone who seems to always get what they want, but not through direct requests? Instead, they subtly influence you, using guilt, flattery, or even emotional pressure to bend you to their will. One moment, they're telling you how much they need your help, and the next, you feel obligated to say yes, even though you don't really want to. It's like you're being pulled into their plans without ever realizing it. Manipulators often disguise their true intentions behind a mask of kindness or concern. They might tell you how much they care about your well-being, only to use that trust to push you into uncomfortable situations. They may make you feel guilty for not helping or try to convince you that you're the only one who can solve their problem. Over time, this can leave you drained, resentful, and unsure of your own boundaries. The most important thing when dealing with a manipulator is to recognize when this is happening. Manipulation thrives in ambiguity, and often, you may not even realize you've been influenced until it's too late. When you sense someone trying to manipulate you, it's crucial to trust your instincts and assert yourself. Politely, but firmly, you must say no when necessary, and remember that you're not obligated to do anything that doesn't align with your values or well-being. As Epictetus wisely said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. This reminder is powerful. You have control over how you react to situations and how others influence you. The manipulator might try to rewrite the narrative of your life, but ultimately, you are the one who holds the pen. When you stand firm in your boundaries, you create space for healthier, more authentic relationships. Don't let anyone manipulate your decisions or your emotions. By staying true to yourself, you protect your mental health and maintain control over your own path. 7. The time vampire. Time is the one resource that, once spent, you can never get back. Yet, there are certain people who seem to drain it from you without hesitation. They're like energy-sucking vampires, constantly demanding your attention and leaving you feeling depleted. Whether it's a colleague who bombards you with endless questions that could easily be answered elsewhere, or a friend who invites you to event after event you have no interest in attending, these time vampires can subtly invade your schedule and your mental space. At first, it might seem like harmless interruptions, a quick question here, a small request there. But over time, these seemingly minor distractions add up, chipping away at your focus, productivity, and well-being. The constant demands on your time leave little room for your own projects, goals, or self-care. Soon, you're left wondering where the day went and why you haven't made any real progress toward what matters to you. So how do you protect yourself from the time vampire? One effective strategy is to practice time management techniques, like the Pomodoro method. By setting clear, focused intervals of work, followed by short breaks, you can create a structure that helps you fend off distractions. You also need to learn to set boundaries. If a friend invites you to yet another event that doesn't align with your priorities, don't be afraid to decline gracefully. Simply say, I appreciate the invite, but I need some time for myself today. It's okay to say no without feeling guilty. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, wisely said, life, if well lived, is long enough. This powerful quote reminds us that our time is precious. It's a limited resource, and how we spend it shapes the life we create. If we allow others to waste it on trivial matters, we lose the opportunity to focus on what truly matters to us. In the end, protecting your time isn't just about being productive. It's about building a life that aligns with your values and passions. By consciously managing how you spend your time and setting boundaries with those who drain it, you can reclaim control of your days and live a life that's rich in purpose and fulfillment. Take a moment to reflect. Do you see any of these roles in yourself? Or perhaps recognize someone close to you who fits one of these 7 types? It's important to pause and assess how these dynamics impact your life. Setting healthy boundaries is crucial for maintaining your mental well-being and personal growth. Your life is your own unique symphony, with each relationship and choice contributing to the overall harmony. Just as a conductor ensures each instrument plays in balance, it's up to you to shape your surroundings in a way that supports your happiness and success. Play your life's melody in a way that brings you fulfillment and pride.